Hello, I just want to do a quick compare and contrast, give you my own personal experience between the Mini 14 and the AR-15. Um, they're really similar in a lot of ways. They're both gas-operated, auto-loading carbine rifles. This is the ranch rifle, carbine version of the Mini 14. Um, They both honestly weigh about the same. If anything, I'd say the Mini 14 maybe weighs a little less. They're chambered for the same thing. This is actually chambered for 223. This one's chambered in the 5.56, which is pretty well the same. Um, Although this is chambered for 223 Remington, it's fully capable of firing the 5.56 NATO round, um, according to the handbook. And I've shot 5.56 through it and haven't had a problem. Um, they both have a detachable box magazine. You can, buy them in the same capacities, pretty much more or less. I mean, there are, 100-round magazines for this and whatnot, and maybe some drum magazines for this. I'm not really sure. I do know that the magazine, the prices are quite a bit different on the magazines and stuff, but we'll get to that. So those are the ways in which they're pretty similar. Um, let's start with the Mini 14. Um, I'm going to say ergonomically this is a better rifle for me personally. It just seems to be a lot more natural to shoot. I just throw it up there and it just seems to be really on with no optics or anything. Um, the open sights on this are head and shoulders above the ones that are on this particular AR. Um, I just love it. I've had no problems. I know that Mini 14s, from a lot of what I've read online, a lot of people say that they're just inherently inaccurate, and maybe that was true with the older models, but this is a 581 serial number, and so it's the newer redesigned Mini 14, and I'm here to tell you it's a tack driver. It really is. I just absolutely love it. Um, and looks wise, I think it's a prettier gun. I mean, this is probably cooler, but this is just honestly, if I was out hunting, I'd be embarrassed to be caught out in the woods with an AR-15. I'd look like a fool, I think. Um, but this, I wouldn't be at all embarrassed to take it hunting. It's beautiful. It comes with a 5-round magazine. Um, the cost, there's really no comparison. I've got about half in the Mini 14 as what I have in the AR-15. Um, and there's one thing that a lot of people look at as far as length of the rifle goes. This has the collapsible stock on the AR, and so it is shorter and I guess more maneuverable. But actually, it's one thing a lot of people don't look at, and that is the height of the gun. And if you look and kind of put them side by side there, the AR magazine sticks out 1.5 inches or so farther than this, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I can put the Mini 14 in my safe with a 30-round magazine in it, ready at the go. I cannot do that with the AR-15. I can only fit it in there with a 20-round magazine, nothing larger. So that makes a difference to me. So well, let's move on to the AR. There are a lot of things about this, I'll admit, that are superior. Availability of parts, I mean, there's really nothing that compares. Um, the options are almost unlimited. Um, you can do just about anything you want to it. The magazines are dirt cheap. You can go into any pawn shop, at least around where I live, and they have a box full of magazines for the AR-15. You're starting at $10 for a 30, 20, or 30 round magazine. These Ruger magazines came from the factory. They were $45 a piece, and basically the only metal ones that I could find. I found a few plastic ones and whatnot, but you know, I'm not even gonna mess with that. So you're looking at $45 versus $10 on a 30-round magazine. There's not really a lot of comparison there. The AR is actually much quieter. I can shoot the AR with no ear protection at all, and it doesn't really bother me. I can shoot 20, 30 rounds, and my ears won't even really ring. Can't say that for the Mini 14. One shot without ear protection, and my ears are ringing for an hour. It is a loud rifle. I suspect that has something to do with, you know, the action being right here at the top, right in your face, or the breech. The AR, like I said before, the cool factor is definitely better than the Mini 14. The Mini 14 doesn't really look like anything special, especially if you take out the extended magazine, pop the 5-round in. It doesn't really look like much. I think if you pop in an extended magazine, I don't know. I'm a big Uncharted fan. It kind of looks like something Nathan Drake would carry, so I think it's kind of cool, but really doesn't hold a candle to the AR. I don't think too many people would argue that. And like I said before, the length is a lot shorter on the AR-15, just because of the collapsible stock. If you pull it out, they're almost the same, not quite. Well, not even really almost the same. It's still quite a bit shorter. All in all, I'm going to say, with the sights that are on it, with the open sights, the Mini 14 is more accurate. I do have a red dot scope that I'm going to put on the AR. Hopefully that'll solve any problems that I have. I absolutely hate the sights that are on it. They're basically useless to me. You know, I got to say right now, as they both sit right now, in a shit hit the fan type situation, I'm going to reach for the Mini 14, and I'm not going to think twice about it. You know, for half the money, I'm going to say it's just as reliable, it's just as accurate, and you know, it's the one I'm going to reach for, just because I feel more secure with it in my hands. I honestly do, and I'm not just saying that. You know, I got the Mini 14 first, and I wanted to love this AR-15, and I just don't. And you know, that's just about the bottom line for it. You know, my personal preference is the Mini 14.